with hello everybody. Welcome to American Hammers TV. It's oh man, I have an error. Awesome. Okay, now we're live on Facebook. Sorry, Facebook. We're live everywhere now. But anyway, it's yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years now. Pretty cool. In our very first episode, was just me and Lee, and we have about the same to talk about. Same amount.
Right.
And it was deadline day of 2019. January 2019. Yeah.
Yeah. It's listen, I mean, let me I just want to say before we get started talking about deadline day and all the West Ham stuff. Obviously how much we've enjoyed doing this in the last 2 years. The people we've met and the former players have been able to interview, the West Ham figures have been able to interview. We're going to have more too, but it's been an incredible journey, and I've met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Most of them virtually, but still, it counts.
Yeah.
All our friends we've made through the channel, it's been fantastic. It was the fans that drew me to West Ham to begin with, and it's the family that keeps me here. You know what I mean? There's no other family I'd want to be a part of. This is the only one. So anyway, we love you guys, and thanks for being part of this. And what do you think, Tim? How was your deadline day?
My deadline day was the same as the first time. I think it was that season. All we pulled in January were Nasri, which was already pre-planned before January.
Yes.
And then Misaki Ju.
Misaki, who turned out to be a huge star, by the way.
Starlet. Yes.
Yeah.
Massive.
We talk about him all the time. Not a day goes by we don't talk about how great a player. Let's see, what was his name again? Misaki Ju has turned out to be. So,
yeah. And this time we pulled in. We did one better. We only got one person, and that's right. One just Lingard, right?
Lingard, yes, yeah. We got Lingard on loan. Yeah,
in a position that we desperately needed.
I mean, well, can he play striker? That's the question.
Can we do 4-6-0 like Sam Allardyce did?
It's the old Sam 4-6-0. Hey, it worked against Tottenham that time. Remember when Ravel scored that fantastic goal? We beat him like 3-0. No. Yeah, it's the old Sam 4-6-0. Well, we don't have a recognized striker, a licensed striker, right? We don't have one. We have Antonio, who we love him. He runs hard, but he's back to his old ways and not being able to finish again. And we have Yarmo, who is a striker, but he's kind of an Allaire type striker. He doesn't want to be isolated up by himself, which he will be. So obviously we needed a striker. We needed cover for Rice and Souček, and at a minimum, those two positions. And we got nothing. We got Lingard, who is a midfielder, winger. We've got 12 guys who play that position already. So
yeah, he's best across the wing. I mean, attacking midfield, and then he can also technically, play like an attacking center midfielder type of deal. I mean, he can also play center mid. I mean, listen, Moyes has a history of converting people to striker. Maybe he could convert him to striker. I'm just bullshitting. Please don't get mad at me, people.
I had the same thought.
It's a possibility, but at the same time, I really don't see that. I don't see him going that far. If he goes that far, I'm done. I'll jump off the fucking bridge.
Because, a lot of all these rumors went around, and of course, anytime there's a rumor, it's never going to happen. Merci, Vernon. Thank you. Anytime there's a rumor, it's not going to happen, right? Because anytime you see something in the British press, just count it out right then and there. But the one that maybe surprised me the most was there seemed to be the Diego Costa thing came up over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of people said, and I didn't really hear this from like any in the know sources, but a bunch of people said here and there, hey Charlie, that we turned him down. We turned it down. That he was offered to us and we said no.
Yeah.
And I'm a little surprised by that. I guess the wages are high, but I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say no to him.
No, and that's what I'm really pissed off about is that if it's true that we turned that down, I mean, unless he was asking for $240 a week.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but if it's like 160, 180 or whatever it is, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be what Josh King was asking for.
No.
I think it'll be a little bit more. But and he's worth it, to be honest with you. He's definitely better than Josh King. I'm one of Josh King's biggest fans. Not so much anymore because he isn't here now. He had an opportunity to come to West Ham, and listen, he fucked that up. I asked him for too much money, really, at the end of the day. But and he's going to your boy most likely. What they say? Did he go? Did he end up going to Fulham? I heard that.
I usually go to Fulham or Everton was the other one I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know where he ended up. I guess we should find out. But it was either Fulham or Everton. Fulham, I think, you know me. I'd like to see Fulham stay up because of their manager. You know, I'm not sure they will, but Everton. He's gone to Everton according to Wikipedia, which is never wrong. He's gone to Everton. Well, great. That's nice. Like they needed strengthening. I mean, they're already on our heels anyway, basically. Yeah. So, you know, everybody around us got better in some way.
The other guy that they got was Fulham got that Maja guy.
Yeah, they got that Maja guy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I wasn't a fan of the first time we were linked to him because he has no passion for his employer. If you guys ever watched that Sunderland Till I Die documentary, you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about. But he pretty much said, you know, fuck this, I'm out. I'm going to Bordeaux. That's just not cool, man. But anyway, I'm going to pull this tweet real quick.
Although Bordeaux is a really lovely town. You can do worse, is all I'm saying.
Well, as a footballer playing for Bordeaux.
As a footballer, it's not a great.
Is that really going to advance your career?
No, not at all.
Take a step to go in the right direction, but
it's not going to advance your career.
No. Let me pull up this tweet. This tweet pretty much sums up what we're just talking about, but also my feelings, and I'm assuming Lee's and everybody else in the chat room's feelings.
Yes.
It's from West Ham Transfers. It goes on to list off 25 strikers that we were linked with in the month transfer window. Gia, King, Maja, Costa, Simeone, El Nasri, Arnautovic, Milik, so on and so on. Dzeko, I would have loved that, man. I would have, out of all of them, I would have taken him in a day. Jovic, Mariano, and so on and so on and so on. And how many did we end up with?
You know what, though? Hashtag we tried, right? We tried. Guys, we tried so hard. That's all that matters is we tried.
Who tried?
Who? No, David Sullivan, he tried. He put out all these feelers. And listen, we know that he's a businessman. We know that he's a very successful businessman. And that's what you have to do is you have to try. And that's the important thing is that David Sullivan tried. And no, Ken, we couldn't have done it without you. Seriously, I couldn't have done it without you.
Exactly.
I couldn't have done it without all these people here. This is what I'm saying. Well, either way, we tried. You know. Now the question to me is, and people have asked this question all day today. So we didn't bring anybody in except Lingard. We didn't get a striker in. What? There's been some speculation as to whether it was Moyes who ended up not liking any of the strikers well enough to bring them in, or Sullivan just wouldn't buy one, or a little bit of both. I have a hard time believing that David Moyes would not have taken Josh King when he wanted him, weeks ago. I have a hard time believing David Moyes wouldn't have taken one of these guys. So somebody. I think this is a pure Sullivan play. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Eider Gudjonsson's having a physical though. You got having a medical. That was the
it's every friggin' window, and that's just dog shit. But listen, I was expecting. Listen, out of all those strikers that we were linked with leading up until today, the fact that today they were saying that we were being offered Costa. I mean, I was waiting for the one that people would be like, wait a minute, would he really come here? Would David Beckham really come to West Ham in 2013, the summer of that, instead of going to PSG? Like,
right.
Neymar, right. Really? I mean, really? No.
We put in a bid for Neymar. Don't forget that we put in a bid.
Bullshit. Yeah. Never going to happen. But, obviously, we'd be like, oh, yeah, cool. They're going after him. No. He was being offered supposedly, and we turned down the opportunity to have someone of that quality in our squad to go forward.
I mean, there was a tweet from The Athletic, and I don't subscribe to The Athletic, so I didn't read the whole article, but it's a pretty credible publication. And basically the author, it's Roshane Thomas, I think, basically was saying that David Moyes has a character test for all his players. And if he doesn't think the player passes the character test, he won't recruit that player. And that's the only reason I can think why he would say no to a Diego Costa, because Diego Costa is kind of a hothead. He may not be the best guy for chemistry right now on a team that seems to have a lot of chemistry. Maybe that happened. I don't know. But I'm purely speculating. Now, the article, I didn't read it. I told you I didn't read it. The tweet did not mention Diego Costa. Okay. It was not in that context
Yeah,
at all. I was just saying, like, he likes character guys. He wants guys who are going to, mesh with each other. You know what I mean? Good guys in the locker room, as we'd say. So
who's your favorite boy band? That'll be on the question. Who make sure they all like the same, or
right.
What's your favorite Curry?
I don't think I've ever had a favorite boy band. Although let me just tell you this: in 1987, I went to see a concert at Six Flags Over Texas, and the opening act was an unknown group from Boston called New Kids on the Block. And I'm not serious. And I'd never heard of them. Nobody ever heard of them. Nobody ever heard of them. And
awesome.
And I thought they were kind of mad, but my friend Anthony bought their cassette the next day. He loved them. So anyway, it's never accounting for taste.
Now, talking about character tests. Listen, only one job in my long history. Obviously, I'm 40 years old. I actually did when I was living out in California, and I applied to Blockbuster Video.
Nice.
The guys, I'll never forget. His name was Sanjay Patel. He was the boss guy, and I'm like, I'll never forget that because that's also a character on some cartoon on Adult Swim. But anyway,
yes, it is. Yes.
So
which one? Yeah.
He was like, okay, Tim, here, take this. I'm gonna write down these 4 denominations on a piece of paper. It was like $1, $5, $10, $25, $50, $100, whatever. He's like, okay, if you were going to steal one of these from the till, which one would it be? And you have to answer. You have to answer. And this is like my interview. Like,
so you can't say I would never steal from.
Well, I said, I'm like, listen, man, I would never know. No, I can't do that. And he's like, well, no, what would it be? What would it be? And I'm like, I'm sweating now, so I'm like, I need this job. I need like 5 jobs to live out here. So I need this extra job here. I got to do it. So Lee, I'll ask you before I give you my answer. What would you have picked between $1 to $100 bill denominations? Which one, if you had to steal one of them from your work, which one would it be?
I'm the world's worst thief, and I'm very easily caught lying. So I just steal the 100 because I'd get caught anyway. So I might as well have 100 for a little while.
You win. I failed.
Oh, is that right?
I actually failed. I said I would take the $1, and he said, that's the incorrect amount. And I'm like, why is it the incorrect amount? Because I wouldn't want to steal it. If I were to steal, I would take the lead. He's like, listen, if you're gonna steal something and you're gonna get caught, you got to be committed and take the full amount. You got to take the highest amount as possible. And I'm like, that was the most. My mind was just blown, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there you go.
I figure because I'm listen. We all have flaws, okay? But I'm a bad liar and I'm a bad thief, and I can't hide anything. It's just I'm not good at it. So if I'm going to steal, I might as well have fun with it for a little while.
That's the point, I guess, behind it all. I mean,
take the hundy. I don't even go out for drinks.
It's not like it's a real quiz or a real thing. This was just this guy's personal. Yeah. He literally took out a piece of like a notepad or something like that, and just ripped off a piece of paper and hand wrote it down. It wasn't like this is like some typed up, official.
Yeah.
It was just his own.
Did he hire you? Did he hire you?
He hired me.
Well, you say you didn't totally fail.
I didn't steal. And
there you go. I mean,
it wasn't that Jerry Rice's phone number though. I did steal that from the system because basically it was in Atherton, California, which is actually, I'm sorry, Menlo Park, California, which is in between. It's right near Palo Alto and Stanford and all that other shit. So all the big, and million dollar homes. So basically all the San Francisco 49ers and all these venture capitalists and all these people like lived in that area, and actors and so on and so on.
Oh, of course.
So, and where did they get their fucking movies from? Like in Blockbuster, obviously. They had a rent at the time. This is 2002 or whatever. Yeah. So I was just looking up. I'm like, did Jerry Rice ever rent here? And sure enough, it had all his information. Minus his credit. Didn't have his credit card. I would never.
Did you prank call him? Did you call him?
No, but I was just like, this is valuable information. Like maybe I could, sell this on the black market, or I don't know.
On the dark web.
Yeah. Dark web.
Yeah.
Steve Young, same thing, and all those guys, man. It was crazy. And I met Garen Veris. I met Y.A. Tittle while so I actually served Y.A. Tittle.
Y.A. Tittle?
I met him before he passed. He actually came in line. I'm like, that guy.
That is amazing.
Ever. And I gave him coffee because I was working at Blockbuster. I was working at Pete's Coffee. I was working at Starbucks Coffee and so on. Anyway, we're getting off track. This is a typical, raising the chat, and that's probably why,
I'll tell you, the one thing I wanted, we need to put out a search party. Okay, now Wally Wally goes way back with us. All right. Wally was one of the first people to watch every show we ever did back when it was just the two of us. Wally was on and he would watch every show.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Gabe?
Where is Gabe? Where is my boy Gabe down in Austin?
Not
Now,
that we don't love everybody else in the chat room.
no, we do. But Gabe has got to be. Gabe must be about 18 by now because I think he was 16 when he started watching us.
Right.
So he's probably like a senior in high school now, I would guess.
Yeah.
Maybe he's, found better things to do. But come on, Gabe, there's a pandemic. What else are you doing? Why aren't you watching us anymore? We need Gabe. Wally, go find him. Go find him.
He's liked some of our posts. He's only on Instagram, so he's liked some of our posts.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I didn't know he was on Instagram. I should find him. I'll tell you what, Charles. I watched a big chunk of your show with Gio today on Hammer's Chat, and after a while, I started thinking to myself, they're talking about West Ham too much. They need to they need to go off and talk about something else.
Boring. Yeah,
exactly. I was like, do you ever just take a break? Anyway, Gabe, if you found a girlfriend, then God bless him. Good for him. And if he's spending time with her, then way to go, Gabe.
So, people in the chat room, since you're all here, I appreciate it. There's a couple things I want to let you know before I ask you guys and girls some questions. Okay. So the first thing is that we're going to continue to go on for another, hopefully 2 years and 20 years. And as long as there's internet and so on, we'll continue to do this. And hopefully, when this whole pandemic goes away, we can all everybody in the whole American Hammers Network will get to meet you, and we'll be able to do our little gathering, which we were planning to do before the pandemic hit. We were talking.
We're going to London. Yes.
Yes. And we were also planning on having an event here in Atlanta.
That's right.
We were planning that with the dudes from Knees Up Mother Brown and West Ham Fan TV. We had this whole thing. Jack Collison, Ian Bishop, they both were on board. Everything was awesome, and then all of a sudden, everything got shut down. So it is what it is. But again, once everything comes back to normal, we'll do the same thing. We'll plan that again. So I'll get to meet y'all. And besides that, we got more shows coming up. We do have a new game show that we're developing. It seems to be a hot little thing there. We started with Friday Night Likes. That was such a hit. So we brought in, we developed Hammer Shots with Adam Frankel, which you all love. And we're also developing a new one. And when we did such a good job at those. And thank you, John, and thank you, Adam, and thank you, Wally, and thank you, Rebecca, with the questions and everything else for those. But we did so well. Well, then we'll do it in New York.
Tim just said, wait. He just said y'all. Tim just used the word. Where is he? I can't point the right direction on this thing. Tim just used the word y'all, which he's already practicing for being in Atlanta.
I need warmth and sunshine, man. And we got a blizzard going on right outside our windows here.
We do. It's snowing really hard right now. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about palm trees. So anyway, well, there's not really palm. Well, yeah, there is in Georgia, I guess. I don't know, but long story short,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, peach trees.
We can do New York in the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Brooklyn. Let's go to Brooklyn. Charlie and I share a lot of heritage. You realize that? Charlie Boy and I share a lot of. He's from Brooklyn, and I lived in Brooklyn for a year, so it's pretty much like we're cousins. You know what I mean? We're basically cousins. I'm sure he would agree.
You're right. Let me finish the bullshit. Because listen, I will forget. God damn it, I will forget, and then I'll be pissed that I forgot. So, okay, deal done.
Actually, I would do that too. I've never been there. I'd love to go.
Done.
Seriously, I'd love to go. Yeah,
love your thinking, Charlie. There.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
All right. So the other thing was that we're developing new content. But our game shows did so well that everybody else started doing game shows too. I don't know if you noticed. That there are still a few concepts left that there's still a few concepts left that haven't been ripped off. Meaning like we ripped off. Or I don't know if you guys noticed, but we ripped off Around the Horn with the Friday Night Lights, and then we ripped off the Hammer Shots is just a mixture, but we're going to be ripping off a couple other game shows. I know Family Feud has been ripped off by the My Hammer's 11 dude, and other people have done like other shit. But anyway, we got some cool stuff in the works. And, listen, we lost a lot of close people, not death-wise, but I mean, just availability-wise because of the pandemic. I don't know if you noticed. When people leave here, I either kick them out because I can't stand them.
I don't know how I've lasted this long, to be honest.
Or
no, come on.
Or I like, or these people just literally have personal shit and they just can't commit to all this stuff. I remember, if you guys remember, like this is an anniversary. I'm getting a little sentimental here, but basically,
Yes.
Gary, Gaz. I don't know if you guys remember Gaz. Miss him to death, but he just had some other stuff that he, had to commit to. But we loved having him on the show. We miss having Charlie Boy on the show. We miss having
Charlie Boy can't be too loud for his Italian wife. That's the problem. He told me that he can't be he gets too loud when he's on the show.
We had a couple of podcasts going on. I mean, we still have American Hammers Radio, which is awesome with Tex and Liam, but we also had a couple other ones that we were literally developing two. I mean, there was Fortune's Always Hiding, which I enjoyed, but I wanted to split them up and like create more shows out of those people because they were doing such a good job. So when I went to go do that, John ended up having some personal stuff that he couldn't do anything, and even though he wanted to do this, but he just didn't have the time. And then that whole thing went done. So we only have that one radio show, but it did spawn us creating the post-match show with Irish Tommy and Chris, and I love that show. I mean, that's one of my favorite shows on the channel. I always love tuning into them with those guys.
Yeah, they're really good. Chris really, Irish Tommy really knows his tactics, and Chris knows every rumor about the club. He keeps a spreadsheet of every player we're linked to. Those guys actually work at what they do. Like I don't. I just come on and just talk for 3 hours. But they actually work at what they do. And yes, Charlie Walsh, wherever you went, I can't see your comments disappeared. But yeah, Amsterdam. If we were going to go to any place that wasn't London or someplace in the U.S., I would fully go to Amsterdam. Absolutely. Yeah, it makes no sense, but I'd still do it.
I'd go to Spain. I mean, wherever there's. I mean, I need warmth and palm trees, man. I mean, there's some parts in France that actually have that too, isn't there? I mean,
sure. The south of France.
Or we could go to Portsmouth. I don't know.
Portsmouth? What, New Hampshire?
No. Isn't like Southern England have like, or is that
like Blackpool and yeah, somewhere down there. Yeah.
Look, well, yeah.
I should be Portsmouth like an hour away. I was like, dude, just on the Strawberry Bank.
We'll invite everybody, to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Yeah, no. Ken would love that, but
it's a nice town, Portsmouth. There's nothing wrong with Portsmouth. Yeah,
Lee has a record, not for the longest stream. That was Hammer's Chat. On
this channel,
yes. On this channel, Lee definitely owns that, and I don't think anybody's coming close.
No, but Hammer's Chat did a 24-hour
for Isla,
charity for Isla, and I one of these days, when the wife and the kids are not bugging me about things, I will do 24 hours all by myself. I'll do it. I mean, like with other guests, but I mean, I'll do the whole thing.
Someday. I'll pop in
someday.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all pop in. We should literally just have like everybody pop in for an hour with you. And
yeah, I know. My boys are 10 and 7, so it's gonna be like when they're in college, probably. So
just have your wife
like a while from now.
Have your wife take them on vacation somewhere.
That's easier said than done, but I like the idea. Yeah, a vacation. That's what we'd call it. Take them on vacation.
Oh, Regis, you're crazy. What the hell?
I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that a place?
Yes. A top lad. I've been a part of the two largest.
Charlie, it's your fault. That's the reason. You have to understand. You've been a part of it. Is you were the reason that went so long because you wouldn't shut up. So,
but we did end up with some funny hijinks out of those. I mean, that was cool.
That's true.
Yeah, thanks to Tom too, Tom Atherton. But anyway, listen. Long story short, we thank everybody so much. Thank you all for liking our posts on social media, following us on all the different platforms, listening to our podcast, watching our videos, whether it be live or after the fact. I mean, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't say I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't been as involved like on camera. But I don't see that. Here's the thing: I want everybody to understand. Even though I'm like, trying to start a little movie career here on the side.
What's that all about? I didn't talk to you about that yet.
Point is, I'm doing a lot with that, so I don't have as much time for this. However, you guys don't see that behind the scenes, I am scheduling a lot of stuff. I'm still doing a lot of the posting. I'm still doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. Even though I'm not popping up on the camera so much because I'm so like, I don't want you to see my wrinkles every night because I'm stressed out. But anyway, long story short, I'm going to continue to pop in at least once a week. And
I like this comment. You just catch this porn. Like, Ken will be back in 20 minutes. See y'all later.
Wash your hands, Ken.
Just gonna. No, okay. Bognor Regis evidently is a resort. It's in England. and there it is. It's a beach, so it looks kind of nice actually.
Let's do it.
At all.
That was
Yeah,
a good
well,
plan.
I would go there. Yeah, totally.
Go
Would go
there
there. That looks lovely. Yeah,
Definitely.
and
So lastly, now that I'm finally getting to that, I miss StravaCraft. I can't tell you how much I miss StravaCraft, dude.
those were good days, man.
Those
I was
were
going to
good
say
days,
StravaCraft was, yeah.
Oh God, I missed that shit.
What was the other one that did the ceramic stuff? What were they called? Remember those
Oh
guys?
yeah, that was Drinkware Designs.
Drinkware Designs, yeah.
Yeah, we've only had 2 sponsors on this show ever, and they didn't last long.
Yeah, they didn't last long.
We don't have the luxuries of Hammers Chat.
But they also never paid us anything. They just paid you in coffee. StravaCraft paid you in coffee. That was it.
I know. I know. Sorry.
But I mean, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, I am not in this for the
No,
money, and it's a good thing because I've never made any money doing it. But
we've had a few opportunities that were like, just like everybody else that had, you post a link and then your people get a discount and then you get a cut from what they buy. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make people buy, I don't know, force them to buy things so that we can, I don't know. But I mean, yet we have a shop. Now it's different. Because
right.
we have multiple shops. We get the Redbubble shop.
Well,
which has some really cool stuff and a lot more items in our Threadless shop. But our Threadless shop is dope. They make good stuff. So check that out.
It keeps us going.
It does.
Yeah.
That and Wally, thankfully. I mean, a lot of people don't know how much Wally does behind the scenes, and you'll never know how much she does. But Wally behind the scenes is a saint, and he's awesome. He's kept us.
Wally is fantastic. It's true.
Can't thank Wally enough, and everybody else. Like people, listen. I just again before we get back into the transfer window, which really there's nothing to talk about. So I'm going to just continue to talk about this for a minute.
Right.
I'm
going to
posting pictures recently.
This is a little treat for you. Okay. I'll see if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to try. There you are. There's our first episode right there. January 31st.
Oh, that jacket. Oh,
there. There I am in that hat. I don't even have the hat anymore.
What's up with the crazy face, Tim?
Look at, I have, first of all, to have that beard without the gray in it. It's Google Hangouts. Remember, used to flip back and forth? Google Hangouts used to flip back and forth. So look at that. The beard it's like dark. And yeah,
it was a challenge with Google Hangouts because every time we do a show with Lee, it was only Lee because they only show you who's talking. And it was
always me. Yeah, exactly. All right, you get the point. Yeah,
but that was
yeah.
Wow, that was.
Well, it's 2 years, but let's be honest. These last 2 years, man, I mean, it's not been like any 2 years we've ever had before, maybe in the history of the world. So
you did buy us by me, I'm sorry, a bag of the Black Rifle coffee, and I enjoyed the living shit out of it. I did reach out to them, and I didn't hear anything back. Listen, at the time, I reached out to like fucking 50 different, independent coffee companies, and literally 3 got back. And StravaCraft was, obviously the one that said, "Hey, I'll give you some free bags every so often," and I'm like, okay. But anyway, after that, I did reach out to Black Rifle. I wish they'd sponsor us. I wish anybody would.
That's true. That's true. The other flag is still up there, by the way.
Yeah. And what about the time you fell off your chair?
Oh yeah, I fell off my chair. Well, no. What happened was the chair broke. The chair actually broke. I didn't just fall off the chair.
Okay.
It's the pressure of me sitting on the chair. Back then it was twice a week, for however many hours a week that was. It just gave, and I went right over.
The answer to this question, Robbie, is that we don't have the fan base that West Ham Fan TV and Hammers Chat have. So it's actually excuse me, a decent amount of work. Plus, what do we have to offer? We already give everything away for free when it comes down to content. I mean, we could come up with a few things to be exclusive, but I just don't feel like it would be worth setting up just for like because listen, if you guys, I'll be completely. You gotta get some elastics in there.
I gotta do
next time. Wednesday night. There you go.
That's awesome.
Wednesday night with Lou Albano.
Wednesday night with Lou Albano. See, I've been thinking about trimming it, but then I thought, no, this is the people's beard now. It's not mine anymore. It belongs to all of you. So I have to keep it.
Yeah.
For now.
But so and I got to thank Jim Stebbins too, because I just see people mentioning the Discord in there, and if it wasn't for well, I mean, I created the damn thing, but I didn't want to maintain it. So I got all these other things. So I assigned that to Jim Stebbins, who's been nothing but, awesome moderating, making sure that if someone says something or someone joins, Jim steps up and says hello, or whatever, tries to banter with people, because a lot of us can't. Now he also, for our American friends, if you don't have Peacock or whatever, he definitely does post links to all the matches to watch and stream, which helped me out a ton, especially if I'm on the road or whatever, because I'm not giving fucking NBC one more goddamn dollar ever. So until they hire some fucking real English people to do the commentary, not these fucking phonies. Now there you go.
There's Captain Lou. There he is. I could pull that off. I could absolutely pull that off.
Yes.
I don't see any reason not to do that, actually. Yeah, he and I, we have a similar build, husky build. Yeah, no, Jim up there on the shores of Lake Sebago up in Maine, he's been good to us.
He's been faithful. Dalek's asking, how do you join the Discord? The link is somewhere. I believe it might be in our what do you call it, on our profile page on Twitter. The bio. Bio is the word. If it's not, I mean, I'll make a post tonight after the show. I'll make a new post on Twitter because I know that's where you're from, Dalek, right? I'll post that there, and you can join. But we'd like to get that back cracking again. We'd like to grow. I mean, that would be cool. We were going at a fucking rabid pace for a long time. We were pushing. It was just literally, guys, think about this, everybody. It was just me and Lee. We were just going to hang out, and then we brought in Satan. And then we kicked him out.
Oh, stop! Come on!
And then we started saying, you know what, we can do other people too. So we brought in a bunch of other people, and then said, you know what, let's have the first female show, like that's regular, and that lasted for a little while, and then they come back periodically. But we had but with female hosts, and we've had multiple female hosts. How many female hosts do you see besides on any channel? It doesn't matter if it's West Ham related or not. I mean, we were cranking like a maniac.
Not very many.
Kicking ass, taking names from nowhere, and then all of a sudden, life happened. The pandemic happened. The pandemic sucked the life out of me. I'll tell you that much right now. When it came down to wanting to watch football with no fans. Fuck that.
I still have a problem with it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Me too.
Even with this great season we're having, I still don't enjoy it the way I used to. It's not the same. I'll tell you though, we were on a show back in March when the NBA shut down, and Tom Hanks announced that he had tested positive, and I think Arteta, the Arsenal manager, announced at the time that he tested positive. And I think I was on with Selly and a couple of other people, and it was a sobering little moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we do actually.
Picture Focus with Justin. Hit us up on Twitter, and Justin will respond to you. Justin's the one that does Picture Focus, which is basically an opposition match preview, and he's pretty good at that. So
it was, then we sat for months with nothing to talk about except COVID because there's no sports.
Yeah.
And here we sat, and this was what got me addicted to Twitter. I always hated Twitter. I had publicly stated in the past how much I hated Twitter. Mm-hmm. But when the Premier League shut down and we didn't know what was going to happen, was it going to continue, was it going to be null and void? We were sitting there like, I think 16th, 17th, and we were on the brink of relegation. We didn't, if they had just shut the league down then and there, we would have survived. But remember they were coming up with this whole thing like, if it's points per game, we survive. If it's points per game weighted home or away, we go down.
Yeah.
And every day I was like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And finally we started back up, and Antonio sort of saved us with his goals, and David Moyes came, had already returned, and we had a solid restart.
I think it's the. He's been amazing since there's been no fans in there. I think maybe just the people cheering and screaming and blowing and singing, blowing air out of their mouths, lifted Antonio's kicks up in the air to Rosie. And then once that came out of the stadiums, he's been able to listen. I don't know if you watched the last few matches, but if you notice that his misses are usually the woodwork or low and wide. They're not Rosie.
They're not Rosie anymore. Yep.
So maybe it's the fans.
I mean, I'm going to say, and we've been talking about this all season, and I hate to say this because everybody misses going to the game. All the people in England who used to go miss going. We miss watching games with fans because it's not the same at all. But I think we're better without fans. I think West Ham are a better team without the fans right now. And I don't know why that is. I don't blame fans at all. I think the problem is there's so much discontent with the board that, you know, even though the fans support the players, they cheer for the team. Everybody knows that there's this undercurrent of anger among the fans, and I think it started affecting the players, even though nobody meant for it to. And when the fans all had to stay away, it's as though the players played with no pressure. And look at the way they've played this season. I mean, they've been fantastic. You know, we've won games we would have lost. We've drawn games we would have lost. You know,
That's a sight.
I haven't seen Ken in a long time. I got to see that. It's been a long. I haven't seen him in quite. He came in. He dropped off a birthday gift for my son in September, I think. That's the last time I saw it.
Literally just started going to the matches, like up there in Dover. I mean, before you found the place in Hudson. I mean, we
only went there once in Hudson. Yeah.
Well, we only went once in Dover, but we had four people there, and for us in our neck of the woods, where everything's so spread out, and there's when it comes down to West Ham fans and travel wise, I mean, that was impressive to get those four people there for that match, including Ken, and it was really cool to hang out with him.
Yep, and I do have a few, by the way. I wouldn't say a large collection, but I do have a record player with vinyl. It's true, I do. I mean, the Lesson Hudson was fine, except it wasn't open when we got there. Anyway, that was a long story. But I'll tell you what, it's a place where we could go. And it's funny, Tim. I found out. We had Nick on the show.
Yes, I was there. Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, you were there, and then I found out a guy I work with is a West Ham fan, and I don't know him all that well. He's an IT guy, and I don't talk to him very frequently, but he's somewhere up in New Hampshire, so he's in the Merrimack Valley, So, that's funny. That's never been my thing, oddly enough. I know I have that look, but it's never been my thing. Just not my thing. Nothing against
it. It's not mine either, and I could damn well use it. So
I would not hurt for me to chill, but I have asthma and I've never been able to smoke anything. And
well, I'm a fucking chimney.
And the edibles.
I'm gonna be talking like this in 10 years.
Look, here's a little example, people. Right? So I smoke let me just tell you guys, I smoke so much that when I do these fucking shows, I bought me these things to.
What are those?
Those are the little nicotine pouches, so I can have it while I'm doing the damn show.
Wow.
Because otherwise, I'm like, yeah. Anyway.
You know what? We all have everybody need. What's the old Cinderella song? We all need a little shelter. I mean, I constantly have to watch what I eat, because if I don't, I'll just get fat again. And so it's always something. You know what I mean? It's always something.
Yeah, that's what he's doing in his off time. He's stitching hemp kits.
I would wear one. I just wouldn't smoke one, but I'd wear one. I don't know. It's it's not,
Get a
but I'll tell you now, of the shows we've done over the last 2 years, a few of them stand out in my mind. And we had Jack Collison on. He's fantastic. We love him. Too bad we were going glitchy Google Hangouts back then.
Yeah, I know.
And it kind of sucked. The quality of it kind of sucked, but it was a great show. Charles Core, a wonderful man who wrote the definitive history of West Ham United, is just a fantastic retired professor. Spent years in London in the 70s in the club. Spent an hour with me, and actually also sent me an autographed copy of one of his other books.
Yeah.
He's just a fantastic guy. And if you haven't watched the Charles Core interview, go find it. It's from
that's
shortly after we started.
Timeless. It's one of those things where it's not dated, meaning the stuff you guys talked about was pretty much mostly about the history. So
he knew West Ham players who played in the 1920s.
Yeah,
I mean, he knew everybody from guys who played in the White Horse Final he knew John Lyle very well. He knew Ron Greenwood. He knew Billy Bonds and Trevor Brooking, and all the guys who were up into and through the 80s, because he would go to games. He got in for free until Galt Sullivan and Brady bought the club. But anyway, Charles Core was wonderful. And we had Kenny Brown was a great interview and a really great guy. I love Paul Konchesky. I thought he was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Paul Konchesky might be other than Ian Bishop, who's been so good to us. Paul Konchesky has probably been my favorite ex-player. Matty Taylor was great, and Matt Jarvis was great. And there's an episode of Friday Night Likes that John hosted that I was on with. I don't remember who else was on it. Anyway, Ian Bishop was one of the contestants, and you really should go back and find that one. It goes for about 2 hours, and he gives a master class on football. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. But
I
the
love the
one
Robert Banks interview too. I love that
Robert
one.
Banks was great. Yeah, Robert Banks has written like
Love him.
4 books about
He's a trooper too. He comes back and does other shows too.
Oh, he's a wonderful guy. I love Robert Banks. He's fantastic. Everybody we've met is Baz. Baz was on with us. Remember, Baz Cox was on with us. We've had Gio. We've had Dom. We've had, we had
Mike
Bubbles.
one of my favorite interviews was Mike Manera. I mean,
Mike Manera?
Personal favorite. One of my personal favorites was Mike Manera. I just love that guy. I love talking.
Love that guy. He's funny and he's engaging. We had we had Bubbles. We had Paul Colbert on.
We interviewed some guy named Charlie Walsh too, and
he's on all the time. You can't keep him off. He's always on the. He can't get him away.
We interviewed Sally, and he's got to go. So good night, brother.
Good night, Sally. Hey, Sally. We'll see you Wednesday. Okay. Sully does every Wednesday night with me, and he's a good friend. And we spend a lot of time talking off camera.
It used to be where we would have to interview the person first, and then we would bring them back for other shows. That's usually how it used to work. And with that, I mean, we interviewed John Nolan. We interviewed a lot of our people. Yeah. One person that we haven't interviewed is New Hampshire Hammer.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Well, no. That's you talking about. I thought you meant the one. I thought you meant the one on Twitter.
No, there's some asshole in the chat room.
Oh, this guy. Oh, this guy. No, I don't know. I don't know that guy. Nobody.
We tried many times to get him on the show.
I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something about him though. He really doesn't. He doesn't do social media. Okay. The fact that he comes on here at all is, I'm happy to have him in the chat room and happy to have him with us because he's a very private guy. In all seriousness, so I'm happy to have Ken with us because he's a good dude. He's a good friend and he's a tremendous West Ham fan, obviously, and I'm happy he participates because he's not somebody who puts himself out there on a regular basis. But the interview I'll never forget, Tim.
Karen, one second. Karen, we haven't finished shouting out yet, Karen, brother. We're getting to you. You remember we're going kind of like chronologically. We haven't got to the worldwide supporters yet. Because we've interviewed not just people in England and not just people in the United States, but fuck it, let's just say it right now, right? We interviewed people all over the world. We interviewed people from Germany. We've interviewed some German hammer guy we found on Twitter. We've met some awesome people around the world. Neil, we've had on a few times. We've tried to, but I mean, it's just because of, I guess, where he lives or whatever, the connection just wasn't meshing well with us. But we'd love to have Neil back on. Neil was fantastic.
Same for Tebow, who never got his.
If I had a better way of, communicating with you, Karen, I'd get you on a ton more. But I keep forgetting that. I mean, I guess it's like email is the only way I can get in touch with them. And I'm sorry, I forget. But listen, Karen, we definitely need you back on the show. We love you. We'd love to get you maybe on the next couple game shows that we start back up again. That was fun.
I don't think I did this one, but I remember this one. I don't think I was on this one, but I remember this.
I don't think I was on that one either. But and that guy the guy's fucking crazy. All Russians are crazy for the most part.
That's true.
But yeah, he was nuts, man. And we tried getting we put his merch in the shop, but the logo that he initially gave us to put in his shop was respectable. And then at the last minute, he gave Alex some hammer and sickle logo. And then that created a fucking backlash.
Yeah, I don't think we can. I'm like, do that. That's too. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Way too loaded. That's too loaded a symbol.
No. Listen, 100%. Listen, we don't get into that shit here, and that's part of the reason. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't do politics here.
No, please, dear God, no. Listen,
football
brings us all together. I don't give a shit what you do in your personal life or what your thoughts are, as long as it's reasonable, humane. But I mean, for the most part,
I don't care what people do.
We're all family. I mean,
we're all family. And I'll tell you, and we won't, listen, know what I'm talking about, Tim. We've had some things happen away from the show where we've really supported each other as family, and I've been very proud of that,
Yes.
People's lives that we've been able to help each other, and I'm super proud that we've been able to do that. And everybody comes together just like that. It's amazing. It's a true family. It's amazing.
We've interviewed. I think we were supposed to interview the head of Hammer Singh that Wally did mention, but we ended up having. He actually referred Jazz to us, who's been on the show a million times and a million other YouTube channels. Jazz is amazing. I also want to mention that one of our most sought after guests, and so help me God, Fo.
Thank you, Fo.
That's Neil. Anyway,
I'm always doing that. I'm always
no, it's just people keep commenting. That's great. I love it. I love the comments.
Yeah.
Listen, Bo.
All right, there we go.
I swear to God, man, don't you dare. If you ever show up on YouTube, please let it be our channel. You know what I mean? First,
Yeah.
don't buy into these other people. They don't love you like we love you. All right, trust me. Don't believe them. Fuck them. Fuck everybody else.
I was going to say that the interview, Tim, that I remember the best. Now we had Lena on the show, and I didn't do that episode, but Lena was on the show.
I know where you're going.
No. Lena, wait a minute. Lena knows her football, okay?
Of course.
Lena knows her football. She's on Twitter. I respect her immensely. She's smart. She's funny. She knows her football. All right. Georgie Leahy was another story.
Yes, that's what I meant. I knew you were going there.
And I've been talking about her the last couple of weeks because I was at a total loss as to what to say to her. I was afraid she was going to send us into, PG-13 territory. And I was just like, just keep your top on. Okay. I don't want to have to deal with this. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is true. Georgie was really something. Now she's a fan. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. She's a fan.
She was boring. Her dad's a massive West Ham fan, and we were supposed to get her dad on too at some point. And again, just scheduling conflicts. Just after about 7 different scheduling conflicts, I tend to move on to other options and other people and stuff like that. So, sorry, but yeah, we'll definitely get him back on. But there's a million that we've missed out on that we've tried to get on. Listen, there was also a couple. We started this just to do supporters groups. I mean, that was our initial plan. We were doing pretty well, getting as many as we could. But then there were a couple that had technical issues.
Actually, yes.
But yeah, we had a couple that had technical issues, and we've tried to get them back. But again, Arizona Hammers, we try to get them back on. They've actually changed names to Copper City Irons or something like that. But we'd definitely love to have them back on. Great people. Los Angeles Hammers, we had technical issues with, and let me tell you that show now holds a special place in our hearts because one of the 2 people that we interviewed from the LA Hammers was Pete Ahlstrom, who not only was one of the first supporters of our channel, he just loved our channel, but he also was one of the first people who bought our stuff back when we had that campaign of t-shirts before we opened up our shop where we needed to sell X amount to make them, and the original AHTV gear. Basically, he bought a couple. He bought one for himself, and his daughter liked it so much he bought her a shirt. I mean, he was supportive of our channel. He passed away recently, and if you go to our Instagram or Twitter, you'll see one of our more recent posts about the GoFundMe for his family's expenses and stuff like that for his funeral and stuff. But he was just fantastic. We've interviewed a lot of cool people. Again, some really good friends. We've mentioned that already. But listen, if anybody here knows any other West Ham supporters who have not been on the show, we haven't really been doing many interviews. Katie is doing interviews now on Thursday nights. Yes. She's brought the interviews back, so I appreciate that. If anybody wants to be interviewed who has not been interviewed yet, or if you know a West Ham supporter who's not been interviewed yet, please send them her way or my way, and I'll schedule it because that's what I do is the scheduling for most all the shows, most of them. Yeah. And we'll get that done. Also, if you just want to just jump on the shows, if you've been on the show before and we don't reach out to you or whatever, but you want to join our shows sometimes, let me know so that you're available so we can schedule you in, because we would love to go back to having
anybody can come on. Anybody can come. Everybody can come on. Wednesday nights, you guys want to come on? Just come on. You come and go. All right. You don't have to stay for 3 hours. Come for 10 minutes. Come for an hour. Do whatever you want.
That's what people don't get. Yeah.
It's open to everybody, and you can come and go. You can drop in and out. Yeah. Do what you want. It's totally open.
You got people who are like, but I feel bad leaving you, Lee. But you.
Fine.
But that's the thing is they don't get it.
Yeah. No, they don't get it. Yeah.
Definitely not a problem at all. You can scoot out. There's a little private chat here. You just say hello. I'm sorry, I got to go, and then wave and bounce and do that. Remember that last Wednesday night we had ins and outs. Remember?
Sure, a lot of them. Yeah, we'd people.
I've been in there and out of there a bunch of times too.
It's totally fine. I mean, that's the way we like it. And we just Wednesday nights are a night when my wife loves that I do this, and she really is very happy to have me do it. And she knows Wednesday night she's going to watch Bridgerton or whatever her show is. You know what I mean? And I'm going to do this. And it's fine.
Yeah,
yeah, it works out well. So come and go. And I'll tell you another thing while we're reminiscing. One of the things I'm proudest of that we've done is the women's show with Allie and Reese. And we had they've all left West Ham. We had three women's players on, a couple of years ago. And that was a great show too. And I'd like to have more of them on at some point if we can maybe get the new manager to
it's just a matter of the media. Listen, obviously you got My Hammer's 11, who's been doing all the player and ex-player interviews. Right. Is because he works for the club. I mean, he's a good dude. The media communications director is not going to tell him no.
Right.
Whereas, they told us multiple times, listen, Matt Beard, we've had, multiple players, Alicia Lehman, a bunch of players. We were told that, listen, they were interested. Melissa DeGraff or whatever her name was, or something DeGraff. I can't remember whatever. But anyway,
Esme DeGraff, I think was her name.
That one, yeah. So the point is, none of them are fucking with us anymore anyway. But the point is that they all said they wanted to do the show, but then we had to go through the damn fucking media dickhead and some dickhead named Mitch. I'll never forget that. So anyway,
tell us everybody now.
Wait, how many subscribers you have? Okay, so who's going to see this? And wait a minute, how many shows have you done? And like, what is this on? Is it explicit? What are you going to talk about? I'm like, whatever. And then he's like,
watch the show, man.
I'm sorry, we have to pass. Thank you. We have to pass. I'm like, pass. Thank you. Like, who else is asking you?
I was going to say,
who else is asking you to get these people on this fucking show? Nobody.
Is the West Ham women's team like overwhelmed with media requests? I mean, I doubt it, but. I would like to get more of them on. If maybe we could work that out. I don't know. We'll see. But Allie has been great. And
Charlie mentioned something that we had an opportunity. It
hasn't gone away.
Still up in the air.
It'll happen. It's just the problem is lockdowns. Yeah,
so
lockdowns need to end in the UK.
Yes. Yeah, Bill Gardner's guy, whatever representative, whatever, said that he wants to do our show, and we would. Are you kidding me? Absolutely, we didn't know he would even want to do the show. So anyway, long story short, we just got to schedule it, but he's open to it.
Bill needs to do a show from his agent's house, because he's not a tech savvy guy, right?
That's what it was. Yeah, and same thing. Paul. Remember, Paul used to be like that. Paul Colborn. That was our most viewed show ever. Yeah.
So because there's a lockdown, he can't go to his agent's house, and so we're just having to wait for that to pass. But he'll do it. We'll get it done. I'm still in touch. We'll get it done. We just didn't get it done early. I wanted to do it in January. It just didn't work out anyway. But we'll get there. And we have had Gary, from South Carolina. From Gary tells a lot of good stories. We even had a whole night with just story night with Gary. I don't know, maybe he's on.
We had a few. We had a couple. Yeah, he was great. We just told him everything else, but then he's one of those guys who's not the most tech savvy either, and he had to always have someone there with him to help him. But anyway, listen, I spent more than that, like almost a fucking week with him in London. He is a nutbag. I mean, him and Steve Mothersoul, one of my dear friends. He didn't know Steve didn't know what to do with himself. Oh man, but
Gary's a dude.
Gary's awesome. I'll never forget. He stole my goddamn my hero. Not my hero. What was it? A gyro. Yeah, something like that. Whatever the fuck they called. Kebab. No, it was kebab. That's what it was. He took the wrong damn one. I wanted like no, purple lettuce and shit in there and all this fucking crazy looking colored shit. I'm like, no,
that's communist. Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah.
And I get back to my Airbnb or whatever, and I open up the shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, like he was pumped. He was shocked because that was the first day that he was able to get one, and he got the wrong one, and I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I'm like, god damn, I'm scraping that shit off and spitting everywhere.
Yeah, that's it doesn't.
But yeah, we met Knees Up Mother Brown people. We've interviewed all those Knees Up Mother Brown people too. Yep. Those guys are great. I pop in their pre-shows and stuff like that from time to time, or watch-alongs or whatever. They're really great people, all of them. And we've had the More Than Just a Podcast people on the show. We've interviewed both of them. We've had the Shed Man on a couple times. He actually helped me interview somebody else. It was a very interesting interview. But yeah, so we've interviewed a bunch of people. We've met a lot of great people. Can't thank you all enough. Seriously, you guys and girls or whatever, everybody, apes, I don't know, bananas, or what do you call it? Elephants, whatever we are. I mean, the squirrels. I love you all equally, and I can't thank you enough, because literally, I know it's stupid to say, but if you guys weren't here, well, neither would we be. Yeah, because we wouldn't. What would be the point? This long anyway. So you guys have motivated us to keep doing the shows. So basically, if you want us to go away, you got to ignore us.
No, I
We'll
mean,
keep coming.
Tim has met more people in person than I have, because you've traveled to Philadelphia. Tim, I think you went to DC. You obviously went to London. So you've done some traveling, which I haven't been able to do yet. But
Dallas, Columbus.
that's right. I forgot about Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, Columbus was good. Meeting, I got to meet Chris finally there. I met Chris and Kevin Grimm, our good boy from the CMHE 13. That was probably one of my more favorite ones, just for the fact that it was during the pandemic. We were all wearing masks, and they had the animatronic Father Jack at their location. So I was like, that this you guys win. Sorry, Philly. I mean, I love the people of Philly, but and Stowe's is pretty cool, but you don't have an animatronic Father Jack, dude. Back ours. You can actually program it to say whatever you want too. It's kind of neat.
Where did they get that?
It was some antique store or some antique auction or something like that. The owners of the pub, they found it years before.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not actually the CMHE 13 people that did that, but it's their pub got that.
Yeah. I need to listen. I need to get over there. And I've been talking to my wife about, because when it's okay to travel again, I've been talking. I don't know what to do, because I really want to take my boys to see West Ham, and I think they'd enjoy it. They both play. They don't really watch a lot with me, but they know the club, and they're both footballers, and that's the only sport they like. Actually, they don't like any other sport. They don't care about any other sport. So I wanted to take them to a match, but I also want to go out and get plastered with everybody here, and I don't think those two things are going to gel very well. So I'm not sure what to do. But anyway, nothing, no reason to worry about it.
This peach that everybody's talking about.
I have no idea.
From Canada? What's going on here? Rice biscuits. I love that, John.
I have no idea.
But yeah, whatever. We'll work that out. I mean, again, you guys tell us who you want interviewed, and if they're willing to do it, then we're willing to do it.
To be fair, that's almost anybody. So, but yes.
Peach, what's going on? Who is this Peach?
I don't know. I have no idea who it is. I can't believe we're hearing about this for the first time.
Canada.
Oh, wait, Vernon lives in Canada? Oh, you live in... Okay, it's... who's the guy who lives in Thailand? Is that Darren who lives in Thailand?
Darren lives in Thailand.
Darren lives in Thailand. Okay, I'm sorry.
What's the guy that moved to China? Or Japan that we had on? That was John's boy. Mark? No.
Oh, Rob. Yeah,
no, Rob Agresto.
Yeah.
Rob, Miss Rob. I talked to him from time to time to make sure he's all right. And
do you?
Yeah, I do. He's all right. Yeah, he's just the last time I talked to him was maybe a month or two ago, and he was just settling in and just getting used to the time difference and shit like that. But I would love to have him back.
I like Rob. Rob is a great guy.
Listen, I've said this a million times, but I met Fo.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Fo gave me an amazing 1980 FA Cup final shirt too, and I didn't expect it at all, and I can't thank him enough for that. It was great. Peach, well, see, that's the thing. I don't watch My Hammers 11. Sorry, once he starts posting all those interviews that I wanted and had it lined up, and then fell off, and I'm like, I don't want to see them with him.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, Russ does a great job. And Russ talked. He interviewed you, interviewed me, interviewed Sully.
Unfortunately, that would be between the two of us. That would be me. Just ask Charlie Walsh.
Tim is more likely to commit a felony than I am. I think probably. Or let me put it this way: if it's a felony that involves violence, he's more likely to do it, because he's Tim's kind of Tim. You were like an MMA guy for a while, And I haven't been in a. Well, I got in a fight in a rugby match one time, but that doesn't count. That's sports. The last time I got in a fight, in the real world, was in 7th grade. All right, I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I don't really do that. But I mean, I'm stupid enough to, when I'm drunk, to do something illegal.
Of course,
that could easily.
That could be anybody, really.
Yeah, that could easily happen. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Just stay away from Asper's Casino. That's all I got to say. That's it's the Westfield Shopping Center, and it's open 24 hours, and it's the only place in town that you can 24 hours. So
I'm very careful about. Yes, that's true. It's like the $100 bill. I'm only going for the nicest stuff. Yeah, that's true. Chateau bottled, John. You know how.
Yeah, well, listen. Hopefully, maybe next season, the preseason tour, wherever that may be, maybe they go to Holland, or maybe they go to France or Spain or whatever. Let's plan a trip.
I mean, when we can listen, and hopefully,
by then, hopefully, things will be better.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be long before we can all travel again, and and get around. And yeah, I mean, I'm totally up for it. I haven't even been to Lowell in as long as I can remember. So to go someplace else would be great. Yeah.
So here's a little before we leave, because we do I got to go, because it's almost, actually it's 10 o'clock right now. Yeah. I do got to let people know that what I have been doing is I have been working on a horror film that I've been working on making multiple horror films, planning them out over the next X amount of years, whatever. But the first one that we're doing is called Seasons. It's a horror anthology, and it's actually got, I was the one to cast the thing. We have like tons of horror film stars from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, from Phantasm, from a million of these horror films. So if you're in that genre, if you know that genre, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, it's some pretty big names. And I'm flying out to California on the 12th to begin filming. So it's actually happening. It's really cool. If you guys want to check it out, or if you guys are interested at all, check it out on social media. It's Subsoil Films. That's Subsoil Films. Or you can, just follow me on social media, and you'll see all about it. We have tons of cool stuff planned for that and going forward. And it's really, it's really what I love besides West Ham, and when it comes down to, hobby wise, what do I, enjoy? I enjoy horror movies as much as I enjoy, West Ham. So it's pretty much the same thing, right? West Ham and horror.
It's the same thing. And Charlie, I appreciate this a lot. Let's save it. Okay. Let's save it for Wednesday. Come on Wednesday with Sally and me and whoever else comes on, and we'll do a marathon, especially, God help us. I hope we beat Villa. Anyway, yeah. But tonight, yeah, I gotta I gotta take it easy tonight. Yeah. The horror thing. I've been watching that. I've been looking at. I've never watched horror movies. I almost never watch it, but it looks like a cool thing you got going on there. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. It actually, it is. We got, it's surreal, because it's just like American Hammers, and just like Great Aloy United, just like all these other things that I created from nothing, and look what we're doing. We got something massive going on. No, we're not Hammers Chat. No, we're not West Ham Fan TV here. But at the same time, we built something here, Lee, that is pretty big, and it's lasted long, and it's got a great wide net of friends and
I love this. I love this so much.
I hope to do the same thing with the film stuff. So that's what it's all about. But
I do, but listen, my wife's birthday is Friday, okay, and I might not have over gifted myself with what I'm going to give her, so I'm being a little careful all week. You know what I'm saying? Just taking it easy.
Oh man, birthday and Valentine's within a short period. Huh?
You know what? Honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you how great my wife, what a wonderful wife I have. We don't do Valentine's Day, and I'm not joking about this. We really don't. We don't, because her birthday's on the 5th of February, and Valentine's Day is a bogus holiday anyway, so we don't do it. And she's not bitter. She's legit. Are you talking about on here or in Tim's room?
in the boardroom of West Ham?
Yes. I'll get. Well, there probably is. Boardroom of West Ham, that goes without saying.
Yeah. You just gave me my next movie idea. How awesome to bloody them up on camera,
I was Aaron Brady to actually be in that one.
But yes, there is no nudity in Seasons, but there are in other of our other projects coming up. But but there will be gratuitous violence. But the main thing is that there's a scene where this gentleman starts turning into like a vegetable, and how he notices, he goes to take a leak in the men's room, because he starts feeling like, oh shit, I don't feel right. I just drank this lemonade, this weird lemonade, and he goes in there, and next thing you know, he sees like carrots and fruit and all the vegetables growing out of his ding dong.
Oh wait! You haven't made this movie yet, right?
No, but that's in the script.
No. Okay. But so you can still he can take a leak out of a leak.
Yes,
it's to happen. He's got. That's
Love
what
you
needs to
thinking.
happen. I'm a writer.
I never thought that. You're a writer. You could probably help us out.
That's true. I write about.
Ideas there, brother.
Yes. Yes, I read about information technology and other topics related to horror films. But yeah, you got to take a leak from a leak.
And that's awesome, dude. I'm gonna write that down. I'll credit you for that. Thanks, easy. Can I help with you know what's funny is that eventually we want to build something where like Empire Pictures from back in the '80s and Full Moon Entertainment, where like they did films in multiple countries and so on. So we're looking into finding some decent people in the UK to set up a home base there as well, as because we've already done that with the United States. We have crews in Ohio, a group in Southern California, here in Massachusetts, obviously Oregon and in Florida, and so on and so on. It's kind of like American Hammers Network, where we're building the network of people and just sifting through the bullshit people and finding the good people that want to do stuff like this. So anyway, long story short,
I haven't been sifted yet. I don't know how I made it this far.
Man, listen, trust me. No. Anyway, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
We love y'all. We do love y'all, though. In all seriousness, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed every show I've ever done, even the George Leahy show. Every show I've ever done, and every Wednesday night we have a great time. And everything when everything shut down almost a year ago, this kept going. We kept going. We went right through, and it was a real savior for me and my mental health and my emotional state. And I appreciate Tim. First of all, I appreciate you for starting all this. Thank you for doing this. Tim says to me one day, "You want to talk about West Ham on YouTube?" And I was like, "Why?" I guess, but I mean, we just talk about it on the phone, or you could come over. I don't care. But
we talked about it for a few months, like off and on, but weren't like 100%, because at the time I was thinking about doing either an MMA podcast, a West Ham podcast, or a just shoot the shit with different celebrity podcasts. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to do something not with myself. I don't care a shit about myself. I want to do something with somebody. And Lee, I know Lee likes to talk, so I figured I'm more reserved. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to pull this through and make it happen, I need you can chat. So I was like, Lee's the perfect guy, and he loves West Ham.
He's over here. I can't point the right way.
Reserved.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate you doing this.
Reserved, but
listen, and Ken up in New Hampshire, who was the one who flew me over to London 11 years ago now to see West Ham play, and was my first sort of real world West Ham friend. I want to, if he's still around, always big thanks to him and everybody else too. The best part of my week is Wednesday evenings, and I watch the shows now. I don't always get in the jump in the chat room, but I'll turn them on while I'm at work, or I'll sometimes Isaac and I watch them together, and it's a family. This is our family. This is the West Ham family, and we're always there for each other, and that's the way it should be. So, and listen, win or lose, I wouldn't want to be part of any other family. This is the only one. So. Yeah, and we'll hey, if you'll go on camera, I'm up for that deal. Sure, yeah, that'd be fine. Next time we
definitely. And this has got to go down in history as one of the only episodes that I didn't refer to my favorite West Ham player, and also I didn't do a Fabianski rant. So, and both in one show.
And the thing is, you sort of could have after the Liverpool match. You could do a Fabianski rant, but that's
100%. But you know what? I'm going to let you guys do it. I'm going to let you people at home do it for me, and pretend you know what I was going to say about it, because you know what I was going to say about it. But anyway, guys, I got to go. But listen, thank you so much. Tune in. I don't think there's anything. Well, there might be a Ray show tomorrow. Hopefully, I hope Ray. Jeez, come on, Ray. Back into it. Let's go. Otherwise, we'll see you Wednesday night with Lee and the gang.
Yes.
All right.
Wednesday. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. Have a great night, everybody. Good morning.
Thank you.